What's up, guys? Dimitri. We are about to change out the airbag suspension that failed in my 2008 Chevy Tahoe LTZ and put in the coil springs. I got the kit from Suncore Industries. It was just the rear shocks with the resistors. It's $100. I'm gonna set the camera up on the mount and show you guys how the package was, what they looked like, the warnings, the cautions, all that. Give me one sec. All right, guys, so this is the box that came in, which is pretty wrapped up. It's all black. If you look, you can see it's the 150G30R RES. You can see it's from Suncore. The box is very nicely packaged. And then came with the bag of resistors. So basically, let me pull these out. Basically, we're gonna be putting those sensors that are on the air shocks, and we're gonna splice the wires, put these on them, and then connect these like so to this. Boom, just like that. And then wrap these all up nice. I'll show you how to do that after. Comes with two of them, obviously, one for each shock, and then four of the connections to splice and crimp in. Alrighty, so that came in that. And for the shocks themselves, I looked at them the other day. They look like they're pretty well made. The bottom, you can see there is some like lube in here. So for $100 shipped for this kit, I really can't complain. There is a slit here for the top. So one, and then this caution says after installation vehicle height may appear high, allow coil springs to settle. A lot of the reviews that I've seen, people actually say that the vehicle sits like 2-3 inches higher until they settle. So I took measurements and I'll put them, the before measurements and the after measurements, and then you guys will see the difference. All right, now that we got all the lugs loose, it was a 22 millimeter for my model. I'm gonna jack it up, pull the wheels off, get the jack stand set. So I knew my bags were bad, but now that I pulled the tires off, you can really see that they busted open. And you can see right behind this line, you can see in there, it's just all destroyed. And you can see same thing on the other side, it's just busted in there. So now I'm going to take off the inner fender well, this plastic piece, so then I can gain access to the top of the shock. And then also I'll have more area to see. So when I splice those wires and get that resistor all connected, I can zip tie it nice somewhere safe where it's not going to hit anything. So first there's going to be a plastic one right here. So get underneath it with this tool. And then this one also. Then with a 7mm, you're gonna zip all these out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's one other 6. And then there's one other end cap down in the bottom right here. Just pop the top on that one. It should just come right out like so. Pop the bottom out. Good to go. All right, so then we're going here. On this side, you can see those. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You got one right on the top up here. I guess you want to support it. Alright, so now that's out. Now you can see we gained access to the top of the shock. You can see the connector right here that we're going to have to splice into. We're going to unhook this. And now that I have this side open, I'm going to get some WD-40 on these rusty bolts and then let that sit, kind of break up the rust while I do the other side. Try to get all in there, especially on the bottom one. So now we're just going to repeat the same process on this side. And then we're going to spray also this side with WD-40 let it sit, and we're gonna go try to break those bolts on the other side to get the shock out. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is pop these little, this is where the air line would come in. We're gonna pop this back. So it's just this little tab. You can just open it up and pull it back, and it'll just slide right off. Just slide right off. And then you pull this back, boom, and that's off. And then right above it is that electrical connector that we're going to be splicing in. So all you want to do is pick up on the tab on top. I'm going to use these needle nose. Pick up on the tab on the top, just like that. Just slide it back. And this is the one that we'll be splicing into so we don't get any codes. So now the shock's ready to be taken off. So I set the jack up under the rear axle, and now I'm going to reach underneath to the other side with a long extension to grab the other side of this and then zip this bolt off. So I'll set up the camera as soon as I get the ratchets in place. So as you can see, the exhaust is right here. You have to run the ratchet up with a pretty good amount of extensions to get it. Here, let me see if I can get it so you can see. Ran across there, pretty much. You can see underneath. So you can see that that is the socket where the bolt is. So then on this side, I'm going to put the torque gun and back it off. So we'll see how that goes. So we're holding our ratchet on the other side. You can see it wiggle. I'm going to put this up here. Off it comes. I'm going to leave the bolt in there so it'll hold the shock up. So now we're going to zip this bottom one off. So that bottom is out. So now we got the bottom all disconnected. We're going to slide the top bolt out and get the whole shock out. And that's it. You can see it's busted right there. That's the removal of this shock. So here's the comparison, the old shock to the new shock. The new shock looks a little bit taller. There's a slit here, so I'm just gonna match it with the slit there. So let's get it in the truck. So now we're gonna put the shock in. I had to lower the axle about 1/2 inch to make up for the difference in height. So we're gonna put the top bolt in first and then get the bottom bolt in. We're gonna put it behind this brake line, or in front of this brake line, I'm sorry. Put that there, and top bolt. And the top nut. I'm not going to tighten these up until I get the other side all set up first. So I lowered the axle a little bit more so we can get this bottom bolt in. Let's push the axle forward. Line it up, get that bolt in. Get the nut on. Alright, so now we're gonna get the nut off this top bolt. I already got the ratchet put in with the long extension from the other side, and I'll put the impact on this side. Let's see if we can get it loose. And there she is, that's the top. And now we're going to repeat the same thing on the bottom. And here's a comparison of the other side. So you can see that it's still a little bit taller. You see this whole bag is just destroyed. The slot is on the back where this electrical connection is, so I'm going to put that slot, the same thing on the back. So now I'm going to tighten all the bolts for the two shocks, and then after that's all set, I'm going to start splicing those wires. So now we're going to lower the jack off the axle and see what happens. So I started my truck and let it run for a little bit, and I didn't get any codes or check engine lights or anything. So I'm not going to install those resistors right now. I am going to take a little bit of plastic, wrap it around both these ends, and then zip tie it up out of the way so it's not near the exhaust or anything hot. And then if the codes do come on, I'll make another video of me putting the resistors in. But as of right now, one of my fuses might be dead. The compressor is obviously dead, but it could be something that's not triggering correctly. But if I don't have to cut up wiring, that makes me happy. So I just threw that plastic bag on it, put the connectors together, electrical taped it, and then there's two holes in the frame right here, 1 and 2, that I just threw a zip tie up. So now it's away from everything. The exhaust is way down there, so I shouldn't have an issue with melting or anything like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. So on this side, this is where the air compressor is. So I just tucked the air line down in here, and then I electrical tape this. And then I'm just gonna stuff it down in there. Actually, I'll put it back this way so it's kind of held in by all this stuff. Just tuck it right in there. There we go. And that's it. So now I'm just gonna put the wheel well back in, put the tires back on, lower it off the jacks. I'll remeasure and I'll post it on this video. So I just finished putting the coil conversion kit in, torqued the tires, torqued everything, tightened it all up. I'm about to go take it for a drive. I did measure it and I'll post the measurements after this. I gained about 1 inch back in height from the bags. So I still don't have any codes or anything. I just, like I showed you guys, I just plastic bag, electrical tape, zip tied those connectors out of the way. I'll keep an eye on the check engine light to see if it comes on. I'll post in the comments to see how I like the shocks. They said it'll take a little bit for them to settle, so I might lose that inch that I gained. But yeah, I hope this video helped you guys so you can do it yourself. I know this job and the parts is like stupid money that you have to pay if you have a shop or the dealer do it. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know if you have any questions. And my next video, I'm gonna be doing the oil change in my '07 Mustang. Sitting right there. Oh yeah. All right, thanks guys.